Alright lads, so today we are jumping into the Senkaimon quest because we recently did just get the Holo Senkaimon Tower. I've yet to attempt it because I was on holiday when this first got added, so I am currently playing catch up. But I do also want to keep you lads updated regarding the orb situation that comes from this Senkaimon update. Because ultimately when this Senkaimon quest got renewed for, in my opinion, a better change, regardless of how I felt, whether this was going to be seen as a good or bad upgrade objectively from the overall community, ultimately came down to the amount of orbs that we could get from this particular game mode. And with that in mind, we've kind of gone through a lot of periods right now in the last 2 or so months where it looks like it was an orb increase, then it looked like it was an orb decrease, and then it looked like an orb increase again. Because when this Senkaimon quest was first added, we had the Soripa, Captain, and also Quincy Senkaimon quests that were here for an entire month. And with that, if you were able to beat all stages or missions, you were able to get 165 orbs per Senkaimon quest, so 495 in total compared to the previous Senkaimon system, which only gave 480. But then a month later, when all these quests did reset, we found out that the 25 orbs that you got per stage, so stage 1, 2, and 3, was only a one-time reward, and the reoccurring rewards are the missions that give you 10 orbs per mission, per stage. So in total now, after you beat it for the first time, you're getting 90 orbs per Senkaimon quest. So 90 here, and 90 here. And now, of course, with the addition of the Senkaimon Holo quest, we also get 90 here, at least in the future. Right now, again, beating it the first time, you are getting 165 orbs for this particular Senkaimon quest. And that's something to keep in mind too. As we continue to get more Senkaimon towers, that's also going to be 90 more orbs guaranteed every single month. So for those that are wondering what the orb income looked like, again, month 1, when we had 3 Senkaimon quests, all given 165, it was 495 orbs in total. When it comes to month 2, and that cutoff point, by the way, for me is yesterday, so I'm not counting this reset of the Soripa quest, that's going towards next month's orb tally. But month 2, with the addition of the Holo Senkaimon quest, actually surprisingly gave us 705 Spirit Orbs. So we actually got significantly more orbs this month, but maybe in the future, again, I'll continue to do monthly updates. Maybe it'll balance out. Because after these all reset, you know, this reset yesterday, this is resetting in a week, this is resetting in 2 weeks, and then this is resetting in 20 days. Essentially, every week you come back to Senkaimon and do a new tower, essentially, is how the system is working for the time being. That potentially means 360-ish orbs next month, unless one of them have a less than 20-day cooldown when they do reset, let's say in 13 days, for example. Or at the same time, again, if they do add an additional affiliation quest, that's back up to like 500 orbs, and then we're continuing to be above the standard that we got in the old Senkaimon update. So I'd say in the long run, let's say a year from now, if you were able to do all these Senkaimon quests, our orb income is going to be very similar, if not a tad bit higher. But at least as of right now, if we only count month 1 and 2, we are getting significantly more orbs. Because again, in month 2, we got 705 Spirit Orbs. Either way, at least for me right now that hasn't been able to do Senkaimon while I was on holiday, it's kind of cool having 3 available quests right now for me to just get a bunch of orbs. So with that said, let's tackle the Senkaimon Holo quest for the very first time. Now, fortunately for me, on my account, I'm pretty sure I have access to every single Holo character, so if someone was going to be able to beat it, it likely would be me, right? But from what I've heard over the last week or so since this was introduced, it does seem like, depending on the affiliation, and we, to be fair, kind of knew this already, depending on the affiliation, the amount of stamina the enemies have, it does reflect the currently available characters. Like right now, for example, I think Quincy Senkaimon quest is relatively easy, and really the only difficult Senkaimon quest is Soripa Stage 3 Mission 3. And that's kind of understandable because Soripas make up most of the characters in this game. There's more characters you can use, that's why it's going to be a tad more difficult. So for those that are worrying that, you know, the Holo Senkaimon quest or maybe the human no affiliation Senkaimon quest might be really difficult to the likes of the Soripa one, likely that won't be the case, and we see it potentially with this tower. You don't need to get the new Holo characters that recently released, because to be fair, there isn't that many of them anyway. But with that said, we're definitely going to use some of our low-tier characters at the start, as you should. So first up, let's just use this Rose. We are going to be in Soripas. Maybe I should look for a Soripa killer. That might be better. But in this case, we only have to limit 3 accessories, so that's perfectly fine. Again, as always, the speed up Senkaimon process when it does reset weekly. Make sure you set yourself some build here. Save your sets. This way, you don't have to keep changing your characters and building them every single week. Like right now, we just built the character super easy in the course of like 10 seconds. So with that said, let me quickly turn off auto. Now, Rose is quite the mediocre character. This particular Rose, and was this the last Rose we got? Kind of unfortunate because we've yet to get a Bankai Rose, and for those that don't know, this was technically a secret 1000-year Blood War character, if that kind of makes sense. If you don't know how the 1000-year Blood War schedule does work, right, it takes around 6 months for Caleb to develop those characters, especially after they're seen in the anime. So these characters, Kensei and also Shinji released alongside them, are basically TLA characters that only appear in the end credit of the original Bleach anime. But they also released right when these characters did something in the Blood War anime. It was like episode 4 or 5 of 1000 Year Blood War Season 1. And it was the same with other characters too, like Akon, Mayuri, and also Kisuke got characters when they appeared in the episodes. So like they timed these characters for the release, even if they weren't, you know, actual 1000 Year Blood War characters. And again, it's quite surprising that almost a year later, 2 years later actually, at this point, we're about to get the final season, and we've not gotten Bankai Rose just yet, but maybe in the future, who knows. I mean, we do know we'll get a Bankai Rose. It's not if, it's when. And hopefully, longer the better, the character actually becomes a good character, because like, it's not like Rose is like a super exciting character, but he's also someone that, you know, deserves a good character after waiting this long, because he does have quite the decently cool Bankai. Now, are we even going to be able to beat this? I don't think I've leveled up Rose's SP stat. Maybe I have. Definitely could give him some bonus abilities here. We are really pushing it. You know, the unfortunate thing here more so is the fact that the enemies are power. So we have to be in under 2 minutes, right? That kind of sucks for us. Already off to quite the bad start. 2 minutes. We're not going to beat this, or are we? Not quite. So let's restart that. We're going to just jump cut to the final boss room again. So jumping into the final room, this time we improved the build and also given him level 9 focus just so we can clear it a tad bit faster. But admittedly, he's not the best character to use here. Just because there's too many power enemies. Like, you're better off saving this character for a later stage where there aren't that many power characters, you know? Let's use our soul now and then back up. Dodge the soul bomb, unfortunately, and we have 30 seconds to spare. Then we don't take damage, as long as we don't get paralyzed, we are perfectly fine, and then we should be able to finish up with the SA3, and Rukia making the finish look a lot better too with her SA3. Unironically, this character's not that good, but I've gotten quite a use out of him in Senkaimon Quest. I feel like I've used him in all towers at this point. Or at least, you know, Captain and also now Hollow. At least in the earliest stages. He's like one of my go-to characters for some reason. So the mission set this time around is range damage times 2. We're definitely going to go with that and now use a range character, preferably with Sniper Killer. That does mean 6th anniversary Aizen, but and also, keep in mind, I have 2 6th anniversary Aizens. Both of them, funny enough, are max transcended. So that's something to keep in mind for the future too. Like, if you ever get a good character, let's say 2 out of 5, and then you get a 3rd copy, that 3rd copy probably isn't that big of a deal. And if you know you're going to struggle in a Senkaimon tower, maybe it is a Hollow Senkaimon quest, where you don't have access to that many characters, and ironically keeping, you know, 2 Aizens wouldn't be a bad idea, or 2 Shinjis, or 2 Ichigos, for example. Not everyone's going to ever do that, but it's something you could potentially do to achieve some difficult floors. In this case, though, just to make it easier for myself and to not change the build, we are going to use Shinji and then remove this accessory. And Shinji is 1-5, but we do get the range damage bonus, so we should be good here. And we also do have Sniper Killer. Again, Killer isn't that important in this quest, but you know, it does help out. And I should probably stop using technique characters right now. This stage, stage 1, just has a lot of power enemies, but fortunately for us, Shinji with the range damage times 2 should be good enough to clear in under 1 minute and 30 seconds, right? And then group them up with the SA2. Couple normal attack strings. And there we go, not too bad. 30 seconds in, so it looks like we're going to clear in under 1 minute and 30, which is our goal right now. Let's SA3. We also have Havoc too, because this was an end of the month character. One of the few banners that had, it didn't refund, but it was the first time they did a different step 5. I think it was something like that. The unfeatured Pora, if anything. So Caleb had to give everyone that summoned step 5, 10, 15, etc. a free guaranteed 5-star. Where you were guaranteed one of the featured units because it was a tad bit bugged. One of the few times Caleb had to do that. But going into Rukia once more. Let me just wait for Rukia to get close to us. That way we can use the SA3 and just get rid of all those traps. I'm going to sub them now. Then SA1. And then wait a couple seconds. To be fair, I probably should have killed. I don't know. Damn, this paralysis is lasting quite well. I should have just went for the kill. And then SA3. There we go, not too bad. So 1 minute and 20, Shinji is now sealed, and we also use 2 accessories. We'll take those 10 orbs. And then for the final mission, we do get player killer effect times 5, so more reason now to use a Sniper Killer. Let's actually sort by Sniper Killer and see what we are working with here. I'm going to use a character that's relatively old. I guess we could get away using this white Ichigo probably. But the question is, have I even worked on him? No, I have not. But I'm ready to give him level 9 SP at the very least. To be fair, maybe I shouldn't bring Ichigo because he is a melee character. But we'll see how it goes. If anything, I'll just switch to this Rose here. Are we able to clean under 1 minute? Not fast enough right now, but we still have time. And we also have Weakening. He's also a character that I should have dupes into, to be fair. Because he's right now 1-5. He's been 1-5 since I've ever pulled the character, like years ago. And he's doing quite good for a non-range character, in all honesty. But considering he is a resurrected character, I can take him into the resurrected quest to get him 2-5. So I kind of messed up there by not doing that. And yeah, for the most part, it does not like White can actually beat this stage. I guess it's kind of expected, to be fair. He isn't a ranged character, but we'll keep it going. I mean, we're about to get to the final stage. I probably should have used him on stage 2. And then used Shinji on stage 3. That would have been the better play. We took a hit. Let's just change our character. So let's just go ahead and use Rose once more. In this case, I'm going to use a Golden Purples because why not? I don't want to lower my spiritual pressure down to 0 right now. Not like it matters anyway. But Rose is a pretty good character for this stage because he does have Sword Per Killer. And he's also a ranged character. So we should be good here. But then again, he's a Nat character. So he's going to be a tad bit slower. Not too slow, to be fair. We should still be able to clear in under 1 minute. There we go. 15 seconds for the first stage. We just got to make sure we don't get hit by the paralysis traps. Or statues more so. So I'm playing it a bit safe here. I probably should actually use my strong attacks to destroy some of these. Let me go here, SA3. Back up, SA1. Or normal attack 1. Somehow I'm dodging all these attacks. I don't know how I'm doing it. But we're doing it. There we go. Alright, 25 seconds to take down Rukia. Do we have paralysis on our attacks? Yes, we do. So we're going to use our Soba. And damn, we just walked straight into that. Okay, that kind of sucks. Are we still good? Did we paralyze again? We pushed away. Okay. That was such a terrible run. But I mean, Rose works. Rose works at the very least. Just don't do what I do and walk straight into the trap. Rose getting a lot of spotlight in today's video, but probably the last spotlight he gets right now because there hasn't been any other Rose other than these two characters. So next up for stage 2, mission set 1, we do want to use limited links, but we do need to at least bring 3 right now. So maybe in a later stage for mission set 3, we're probably going to use a normal attack damage character, preferably with Hollow Killer, because there are hollow enemies. So in this case, I'm choosing to use Floor 20 Aizen. Quite a throwback name for this character. For those that don't know, when Senkaimon first came out, there was one stage in Tower of Ordeals, Floor 20 in particular, that was quite literally impossible to beat unless you had this character. Like, I've seen a lot of people complain about stage 3, mission 3, because it's quite a difficult stage. And if you can't beat it, it's not that big a deal, it's only 10 orbs. You know, back in the day when this character came out and Senkaimon first came out, you were literally gatekept from the entire tower, the last 5 stages. That gave pretty good rewards. If you didn't have this one particular character. You know, the stage 3, mission 3 for Soipers, there's like at least 5+ characters that can beat it. We even beat it with a resurrected character. But, you know, back in Floor 20 Ordeals, this was more ridiculous. And Aizen was pretty much the only character to beat it because a ranged Hollow Killer that was power, that had Hollow Killer, that was a Hollow affiliation, I'm just messing up all the names here, was basically a rarity. And Aizen was pretty much the only character that matched it. There was like 2 more characters, but they were like year 1, day 1 characters that you really had to get lucky to beat it with. And in all honesty, if I had not pulled this character when I did, I wouldn't have been able to beat that Senkaimon quest. So there we go, 35 Spirit Orbs, we'll take it. And this is quite nice too, because the bonus that we can get here do work well with what they want you to use. Whenever K-Lab or these Senkaimon stages want you to use limited links, they are more so encouraging you to use normal attack damage characters. So getting a normal attack damage ×2 bonus is actually quite good. And that's what we're going to do for the next 2 stages. We're going to use Shinji, and then we're going to use Kente. And it also means we can save time building our characters because they will both use the exact same builds. So with that in mind, the standard Golden Chappie at Chappie Hollow Bait, and then we'll just give as much normal attack damage as possible. Shinji, ready to go. No, he is not. Let's actually remove this one, because we only need to use 2 character links. So we are one-shot, and we have Long Stride. We also have the Vortex on the SA2, I'm pretty sure, so we're going to save the boost when the boss spawns in, or when we get into the boss stage. That way we can have some crowd control. Let's just keep it slow, walk up slowly, use our normal attack. Pretty good range here. Good back range too. There we go. Super fast. We only have to clear in under 1 minute and 30 seconds. We are clearing in under potentially 20 seconds, right? Here we go. Look at that, damn. Shinji, definitely going to be the go-to here for stage 2, mission 2, or mission 3. Really depends if you have Kensei or not. But to be fair, he might actually be better than Kensei right now because he has the crowd control. Because I don't think Kensei has any way to stop the enemies, but we'll see how it goes. So now we only have to use one character link. Should be relatively fine. But I guess we do have weakening. So I guess that does help out a tad bit. More so in regards to when the enemy decides to hit us with their sword bomb. Or like that, for example. Fortunately, only 1 damage there. On the slower side compared to Shinji, but Shinji was more duped out. This Kensei's only 1-5. So again, maybe if you do have Kensei and Shinji, probably use Shinji in stage 2, honestly. Sorry, in mission 3. But I mean, Kensei's still clearing fine. Still clearing fast. Unfortunately, too, we have attribute advantage against the final boss. So let's go ahead and sub bomb. Let's SA2. And hopefully, yeah, take him down. Take Lisa down before she can even use a strong attack or a soul bomb more so. Alright then, so for stage 3 mission set 1, we want to bring a Ranka killer, preferably a mind one. And we would probably want to save this character for a later mission set 2 or 3 even, because he does get all the requirements here, at least having killer and attribute advantage against the final boss. But we've done a pretty good job at managing our characters thus far. That a lot of the characters we can use now are the really good ones. Again, we haven't even dipped into using the newly released holo killers. Like this Shinji right now is probably the newest character that we've used in this entire video. We still have 6th anniversary Aizen, we still have the other 6th anniversary Aizen, and the other one that I have. We can literally finish the entire last stage, which is Aizen's, which is kind of funny. We also have ORBS Ichigo that we haven't used. We also have the new Shinjis that came out. The 1000-year Blood War and Seasonal one. So, you know, we're kind of making it technically hard on ourselves here by using the older characters. But, you know, I don't really get to use these characters all that much. The newer characters that I just mentioned I'm still using in other content. So I don't mind getting a use of characters like this right now. Let's go ahead and soul bomb. Took a hit on the soul bomb too, but that's fine because we did apply weakening, so not too bad. Again, still a really cool Beyond Banker design, I will be honest. So there we go, Shinji is now sealed, and we are getting our last 25 orb reward for clearing this stage for the first time. And again, fortunately for us, maybe knowing that there isn't that many amazing characters in the Holo affiliation, we are getting nothing but damage bonuses that are making it easier for us. So we're definitely going to go with the strong attack damage ×2. And then next up, let's go ahead and use ORBS. Why not? We don't have to actually bring a Ranka killer right now. And given that we can still use character links, strong attack damage characters is definitely the way to go for stage 3. Focus on normal attack damage characters for stage 2. And SP strong attack damage characters for stage 3. So what's our damage numbers looking like? Pretty good. We are kind of max transcended, to be fair. But it's fine. It's fine. SA1, and then finish up with the 2. That is the first one done. Can we actually just soul bomb this stage? Not quite. Maybe, to be fair, I should have taken the 2 times soul bomb damage. That would have maybe allowed us to clear. But at this point, we have like a minute to take down Stark, with also the fact that we have long shot and weakening. So it shouldn't be too slow. Yeah, let's back up. Dodged out the way. Lovely. And we also did apply weakening to make it easier for ourselves. And then one more strong attack. SA3 finishes up Stark. Quite the easy stage, and then of course we're going to save it best for last. We'll use an Aizen in the next stage. And remember, we only have to use 1 accessory. That's perfectly fine though, because we still get to spam our strong attacks. And I'm choosing to use the original 6th anniversary Aizen, more so just because I'm getting a lot of use out of the new one, you know. I'm still actively using him. I don't get to use this one all too much, but it's still an absolute power of a unit. I'm excited to see if he's going to resurrect soon. I feel like his resurrection would have happened in January, and that's likely when it is going to happen, to be fair. But maybe they will do it early. Maybe they will actually do it for the 10th anniversary, especially given that the previous Aizen, or the fact that he's already gotten remade, you know, got a renewed version. But let's use the soul bomb. There we go, finishing up, shattering reality. Stark could not handle it. And there we go. With that, that is Senkaimon quest, the Holo Senkaimon quest done for the time being. And we won't have to come back to this stage or Senkaimon quest for another 20 days. So plenty of time to do it. Hopefully in the month of July, we maybe do get a new Senkaimon quest too. Maybe the Aranka human one, for example. Either or, I'll honestly take. Maybe more so the Aranka one, because we've not yet to be able to use Arankas in these Senkaimon towers. You know, at least humans are technically Quincy's, so you can get a use out of them in the Quincy Senkaimon quest. But as far as Arankas are concerned, I haven't been able to use them in Senkaimon yet, so if we were to get a new Senkaimon quest next month, it would be cool to see the Aranka tower. So yeah, my orb count's also looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure when I summoned on the most recent mid-month banner for Aizen and Byakuya, I was on 8,500 orbs. Somehow I'm already back up to 8,500, and again, I still got the Story Bar and Quincy Senkaimon quest to do in my own time as well. In a couple days' time, to be fair, we've already half done it. To be fair, we only used one resurrectable character, but we are going to attempt this quest once more and see if we can beat it using resurrectable units, which shouldn't really be a surprise if we can do it, because we're able to do it for this tower, and also this tower as well. So it's kind of expected we're going to be able to clear all Senkaimon stages, Hollow, Aranka, and also Human in the future using resurrectable characters. But either way, that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.